Hey everyone. So I wanted to talk about some last Epoch things today, but I also wanted to see if I could do this. Hold on. See if I can get away with this. Hold on. Can I do this? Wait, where is it? Yes, I can do that. Okay. All right, let's talk. We're going to talk about some last Epoch news. All right, last Epoch. First of all, last Epoch had a nearly 6 gig patch. This is such good news. This is such a good news. This is big. Yeah, like all right, so I don't know, like a really huge patch would be bigger obviously, but like that's pretty big for a patch. That means they fixed a bunch of stuff. And they sort of did it without bragging about it, I feel like. So that's a good thing. That's a really good sign. There's actually not much about it. So next time we go to play that, which will be soon, we're gonna have to just see exactly what's going on with that. But we're here to talk about something else. We're here to talk about release. Okay. So while there was a nice huge 5.79 was what it arrived at. But I'm calling that 6. That's pretty big. That's awesome. Okay, let's talk about when this game comes out. We have 2 classes coming out for this game. 2. And I thought it was 1, but it's actually 2. So we're gonna get Falconers and we're gonna get Warlocks. Let's put this on the screen. There we are. We are on the screen. Okay, it says. Hold on. It says, hold on, XSplit doesn't know what it's doing. Okay. So anyway, yeah, the yellow capture border thing that just needs to go away. It's always wrong. I don't even know why it's a checkbox anymore. Just get rid of it. Anyway, yeah, just get rid of the yellow border. Nobody cares. No, nobody cares about yellow borders. They're a pain in the ass. Windows did it to, I don't know, probably cover their ass for some legal issue, but it's a pain in the ass. Get rid of the yellow borders. They're always wrong. Anyway, factions, Falconer, and Warlock coming to Last Epoch, February 21st. Okay, so this is release. All right, this is what we're talking about. Let's discuss this. Happy Saturday, travelers. For today's, though, this was yesterday. For today's pre-patch blog, we're taking a look at information regarding 3 headlining features, blah, 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 blah. We already know this. All right, so on January 11th, we released our deep dive into Item Faction System. Item Factions is our answer to the eternal trade debate, offering an option to players who want to trade as part of their itemization experience and those who don't, without splitting the player base and without being left behind the other. This is a good news. Yeah, this was the same thing that was kind of cycling around that I didn't really understand yet because I'm not max level yet. But yeah, it's gonna be like that question where like when we first played Diablo 3, You know what I mean? And they quickly got rid of that thing where you could use, you could sell items for like real money or whatever. Yeah, I like I'm not, but I remember that too, and I knew that like I knew that wasn't gonna stick. It there's certain laws that are kind of like make that a little bit weird, and I knew that wasn't gonna stick. But anyway, um, let's talk more about this, and I'll shut up about Diablo. Uh, blah blah blah. To read the full, yeah, I want to watch this. I want us to watch this. I think we should watch this, but I'm gonna read on. We're gonna watch a couple of things. This'll be not a super long stream or anything, but this is just like an update stream for those curious about the game, and then also we're gonna get into a couple other things in a little bit, but it's not gonna be super long. With item factions, you can either join the Merchants Guild, which grant access to the bazaar to trade items with other players, or join the Circle of Fortune, which grants significant item drops bonuses. So essentially, what we're talking about is, and they conveniently made them blue and red. Okay, so just like Horde versus Alliance, this is going to provide factions. The question is, when you join this faction, essentially, this is what we're talking about. Okay, so see how it says visit observatory, visit bazaar. That's I think what we're talking about. There'll be different areas essentially that you'll have access to now, just because you chose one faction or the other. Hey, Ladra. Where's my chat? Where the fuck's my chat? Oh, there it is. Or I'll put it up here. Okay. We'll put chat up there. Okay, so anyway. We do want to mention one fairly large change to the Merchants Guild we've made since the deep dive. From both the CT. See, I don't know what some of this is, to be perfectly honest with you. The CT program and public discussions that were concerns about item supply within the bazaar. Okay. This concern stemmed from the ability to sell certain items being locked behind reputation levels. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, that actually would be annoying. So like essentially what this is saying is some people, I guess, couldn't sell certain items because it was locked. Like, you had to get a certain amount of reputation just to sell an item. That would be really weird. This meant players would not be able to sell many items for some length of time, reducing spell participation. Exactly. Again, we're talking about when the game comes out. To ensure a strong item supply with the bazaar, there is no longer a reputation level requirement to sell any class of item. That's a weird way to say that. Any class of item. There is no longer a level reputation requirement to sell any class of item. I guess that's what it's saying. Yeah, any item, I guess. You could say it like that too. I don't get that. Class of whatever. Also, to promote healthy item supply within the bazaar, favor costs for selling items are much lower than buying favor costs, so Merchant Guild members can be a bit more free with selling items. Okay, so we're talking. This is good. Yeah, like this is what I was curious about. Okay, so are we talking guilds here? Is this what we're talking about? We're gonna watch this. But again, there was a 6 gigabyte patch, and a lot of this was posted. Like, this is just getting caught up. Yep. So, oh wow. They're expanding the range of the base items for boots, gloves, belts. Oh, wow. But yeah, anyway, the main thing is that we're getting Warlocks and Falconers as new classes. New uniques. Oh, okay. So this is a new item in the game. Some of these are new. It's pretty cool. +3 to shield throw. What's the special? A chance to retaliate with shield throw and block. That's pretty good. Stays on this item. Stats on this item are doubled for 1 second after using a potion. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the Warlock here. A practitioner. I can barely see that. You guys like barely see that? There we go. Okay. Oh well. That was not what I wanted to click on. Oh my god. A practitioner of the forbidden arts, she tears into the essence of her foes, twisting and corrupting their bodies, minds with curses most vile. Through her dark magic, she can devour the very souls of those who dare stand in her way. Okay. So we have a Warlock class here. Does that say Chthonic Fissure? Do you pronounce the what? Chthonic Fissure? Is that how we say that? Chthonic maybe? Chthonic? Chthonic? Fissure is on the ground, releasing vengeful spirits that curse and torment your enemies. That's cool. So Chaos Bolt, this is some of this is actually kind of like kind of reminds me of Necromancer a little bit from D3, just a little bit. Obviously, we already have the Acolyte, which includes the Necromancer specialization, but Chaos Bolts. There we go. Yep, Chaos Bolts. That's where it's at. So, unleash a barrage of chaos, fire, and necrotic projectiles devastating the area around your target. Okay, so it's an area of effect around your target. That's pretty cool. Ghost flames, spew a ghost of necrotic and fire energy in the target direction. Beware your mana drain you as you lay waste to your foes. So this will be it says beware your mana drain, so this will be heavy mana. This will probably be right click. I don't know. Maybe a fourth ability. Or maybe these are the main abilities. I don't know. Stop running scripts. If you're gonna run scripts in the chat, I'm gonna ban you. I'm done with it. Just stop doing it. I literally, I'm not stupid. If you're gonna sit here and run scripts in my chat and move the numbers around and act stupid, like you're not doing it, you're gonna get banned. I'm done with it. Just stop. Soul Feast. Feast on the souls of cursed enemies, dealing necrotic damage to them and drawing fragments of their souls back to you to bolster your defenses. Interesting. So this will be, I'm trying to think of that one channeling ability Warlock has on WoW. Soul Drain? I think. Yeah, like something like that. Soul Feast, Soul Drain, similar. Profane Veil. Transform into an ephemeral fog. I was like, what does that say? Ephemeral fog and of cursed energy dealing necrotic damage over time to nearby enemies. It's really small, guys. Yeah, Profane Veil. That sounds cool. And then for Warlock curses, we have 5 different curses here. Anguish, Penance. Oh, Decrepify. I was like, what is that letter? Decrepify. Acid Skin. That's cool. And Torment. This is cool. That seals it for me. Seeing this. That's cool. I was a little bit concerned actually about balancing, but seeing this is cool. And then we're going to talk about Falconer. The Warlock makes its long-awaited arrival on February 21st with both existing curse abilities and 5 new curses. The Warlock is a master of forbidden arts, twisting enemy minds and bodies. With the Warlock, we wanted the class to focus around manipulation of souls and curses. This theming can be found across the Mastery's abilities from the Mastery skill. Chthonic Fissure, I'm assuming is how you say that. I don't know. How do you say this, 365? Chthonic? Chthonic. That's how I'm saying that. Fissure, cracking open the ground to spew out souls to Profane Veil, converting yourself into soul-like ephemeral fog. Wait, converting yourself? So you turn into fog? Cool. Can you read that one? What? What? Or still. You can't read or still? Oh. That's fine. It is pretty small. So yeah, no problem. And like I noticed that. It's literally just on Google. That's why I was like, what the hell? That's funny. You misspelled the word spell to still. That's funny. Yeah, apparently you can't. Yeah, I noticed that too. I went to look the game up, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I wonder why he's not playing it. That doesn't make any sense. And then I looked it up, and when I went on Steam, it literally says it's coming out in March, and it just didn't change it on Google. So I'm just like, why? You know what that means, though, 365? You know what that means? It actually means there's such a low want for the game, such a low demand for it. Nobody noticed. Yeah, we're in February. We're in February. And nobody has noticed that the game didn't come out in September. Nobody. Yeah. That's what that tells me. Cause oh man, it's produced, I think, and made by the same people that made like House Flipper and stuff. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Frozen something or other. I just happened to notice they're the same producer. I don't know about developer, but I'm sorry, publisher. It's gonna be a new thing. It should be. I think it's gonna be free too. I don't think it'll. I think it's free. So that'll be nice. That'll absolutely be your new thing, dude. You literally could use that with like clients and stuff. And then like obviously stream it cuz like it's you. You're good with hair. But Yeah, man. That's definitely your new thing. That'll be awesome. I'm sure you're looking forward to it. So that's my curiosity is like how do you how would you enjoy, you know what I mean? Like how would you enjoy doing all of that on a game, but then at the same time doing it as a job? You must really like doing it. Yeah, you must really like doing it if you're willing to play a game with it and everything too. Into your real life. Into your really life. Yeah. Really in your real life. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. You like doing it now that you can do it? Yeah. I mean, of doing hair the first 5 years. Yeah, I remember it was pretty terrifying. I remember the first class that I taught without my instructor there. That was pretty terrifying. Like when I was like back when I was teaching and stuff. I can relate. Yeah, it's you know, like you're on your own. It's just you. Yeah. And you know, people can complain about what you're doing, and yeah, you really gotta shadow and know what you're doing first, you know. That's why it's you know, it's like that's why I know that you're a pro, you know, like to actually like work out of your own booth and stuff. Cuz you, know, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't be spending the money to rent something if you couldn't, you know. Yeah, I mean like you rent a booth, right? Like so that's the point. You wouldn't do all that if you couldn't do it, you know. I already know. I'm actually really excited for this. This is the class I want to play. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a lot like Demon Hunter, but it's sort of like Demon Hunter slash Rogue. Never fight fair, never fight alone. A master tactician who relies on devious traps and her fearsome falcon to eviscerate her enemies. Yeah. Yeah, the isn't it the demon hunter that has the trap in D3? Luring prey into her ambush, she survives through quick wits, unscrupulous tactics, and unwavering bond with her avian ally. Falconry and falcon strikes. See, this looks so cool. You summon a fierce and invulnerable invulnerable? That's cool. Falcon which fights at your side and heeds your commands. We have a passive thing here that's not labeled. On your orders, your falcon darts around the battlefield, attacking nearby enemies in a blur of savage strikes. That's not labeled. I'm assuming it's some sort of like extra just button. I don't know. I don't know why it's not labeled. Aerial assault. As you leap forward, your falcon dives to catch you, carrying you further. After you dropping you off, your falcon unleashes a storm of feathers, slicing and dicing enemies around you. This is cool. So this'll, even just hearing that, I'm gonna use that essentially. That'll be like charge with warrior in WoW or something like that. You know, like that's what you're doing. You're gonna charge in, and that's your AOE to charge in. That's your first ability right there. Then you'll do the falconry strikes probably. Dive bomb. Your falcon shoots a high into the air and comes plummeting down, smashing enemies in a large area. This will probably be your third or fourth ability. Explosion trap is probably your fourth, but we'll see. Net. You flip backwards, throwing a net, slow or mobilizing foes. Okay, so this is second maybe. This is third. Immobilizing foes. Once netted, enemies are easy prey for your avian ally. Yeah, so you'll do this as you do your charge, so maybe second. And then you'll just start. Like, there's just so much to do here. Maybe like, these are different builds, too. Yeah, like, these are probably different builds, too. Place a trap, explosion trap. Place a trap on the ground that, when triggered, devastates the area with explosive fire. The longer your trap is deployed, the more powerful the explosion. Oh. You have to leave. Okay, that's cool. Well, I appreciate you being here, man. Thanks for stopping in. In the case of the Falconer, we want the mastery to offer an atypical minion playstyle. One where the Falcon is much more than a minion or companion, but an extension of your own play. I like this. I like that concept. Yeah, this is... I don't know. As much as I like Warlocks and everything, I'm thinking I'm going to go with Falconer first to give it a shot. Yeah, on release day, I might start with the Falconer. We'll just have to see. Yeah, now again, we're gonna start off and see what this isn't it like Legacy or they're calling it or something like that, where essentially we get an amended gear piece where essentially it's new game plus for our old characters. I'm gonna obviously look at that too, but I think anybody that's not capped, do they get wiped? I'm not sure, actually. I just know that that you can keep your characters, but I think you have to do something. I don't know. I'll look into it again. Hold on. Let me look really quick now. I did look at this, but I forget exactly what it said. It was really vague. There's something about cycles. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's like season with Diablo. So maybe it's more like in early access that's like a seasonal character. And then when the game comes out, it's going to be like, all right, now your character's not seasonal anymore, they're normal. And now the actual official new season starts. Cycle. That's kind of what it sounds like. Yep. That's exactly what it is. Essentially, I think that's what it is. Just looking at some of the responses here from people and looking around on Reddit a little bit, looking at last Epoch official answers. Essentially, I think what's happening here is, they're referring to the cycle. I guess that's a season or whatever. So essentially, when the game comes out, all right, so right now in early access, that's considered a cycle / season or whatever. So as the game comes out, your character that exists now will be cycled into a normal sort of legacy play, and then the new season starts. And so your new characters will be part of that new season and separated from your other characters, sort of like with Diablo where they have seasonal versus normal play. It's going to be like that, I think, is kind of the concept that we're looking at. But again, this is me looking at various things, and we also haven't finished scrolling down here, so I could find it later. I don't know. I do know that, like I said, there was that nearly 6 gigabyte patch. All right, anyway. The Falconer is designed to synergize with several playstyles, melee, bow, and throwing, creating a tie between existing Blade Dancer and Marksman mysteries. Yes, Demon Hunter, I said it. Yes, awesome. Okay, except closer to what Rogue actually was, I think, in D3. Now we have an actual Rogue in this. But if you remember, Rogue was like yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about, like original Rogue. But yeah, Demon Hunters are awesome, and this is very much like. Is this game out yet? This is the game I've been playing. Last Epoch. You probably see me play this quite a bit. It's a lot like D3, and I think you even complimented it. It looks nice and everything. It's about to come out on the 21st, but it's been in early access. So that's how I've been playing it. So yeah, it's the 21st is when it comes out officially. And if anybody's thinking about getting it, you should do it while it's in early access so you can get the early access price. I'm not going to read all this, but there's a lot here, obviously. You can look all into this stuff. I mean, we have the cleric already. This is good. I am really looking forward to this Falconer. The Falcon is untargetable, meaning it cannot take damage. Scales strongly with many of your stats and offers options to join in with your build style, be it ranged or melee. This means that unlike many minion-type setups, the Falconer can build strongly with their own stats, with the Falcon growing in strength alongside you. That is so... that's everything. Yep, I'm glad this is everything. With the Falcon growing in strength alongside you. That's what I wanted to hear. Good. The Falconry and Falcon Strike skill offers with 3 methods to build the Falcon, many of which will apply across all actions the Falcon takes. With Explosive Trap and Net, the Falconer can ensure an unfair fight by leading enemies to their end, or perhaps use Aerial Assault to fly into the fray with the Falcon to cut down enemies alongside your avian ally. We did talk about how some of those abilities were kind of obviously specifically for that, like some of the AoEs and stuff like that. But then you also have your ranged attacks too, to use on the trapped enemies and stuff, like it talked about. Alternatively, you can order the Falcon forth to dive bomb the enemies, plummeting into a group of enemies like feathery meteorite, and that's also a possibility too. You can do that with your the trap too, where you set them up with the trap. Wouldn't that be interesting to do a build like that? We'll just have to take a look at it. We have references here. Thank you again to both Maxroll and Icy Veins. Okay, so that's good to hear. All right, so Icy Veins will do builds and stuff. You can check that out for builds, I would assume. I distinctly remember Icy Veins being a site people used to use for meta decks in Hearthstone too. I could be wrong about that. Might have been D3 stuff too. But Icy Veins been around for a while, so they're a good source. That's cool. Yeah. This is good news. This is all very, very, very good news. So with Last Epoch coming out very soon, I am obviously grinding the crap out of my character, trying to get him max level. As you guys know, my mage is still like experience grind is really tough toward the end, in my opinion. And you're talking to a guy who played like every WoW expansion, pretty much, um, to a decent degree. The only one I really didn't I sort of stopped playing. Well, I only started in Burning Crusade, but I also stopped playing in Battle for Azeroth for quite a bit, and I did I did play Warlords. Unfortunately, I played Warlords, um, and yeah, did not like it. But anyway, this yeah, this is the man. Hey, House 242. Never played Warcraft. Maybe the RTS one. Oh yeah, you have Frozen Throne or Reforged. I played Frozen Throne a lot. Um, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. But regardless, I'm really looking forward to this, and I will probably make a Falconer when the freaking game comes out, because this looks really cool. Oh right. I was talking about how the grind is tough. Yeah, this is coming from a veteran WoW player here. Played every expansion aside from those two I mentioned. I remember the grind from. Everyone thought it was like, I don't know, just that what was it, the 5 level one, was that Kata? I think it was Kata. I just remember being in Vast Jir underwater for freaking ever, looking for quest after quest, because the grind was so tedious. I just always needed more experience. Eventually I ran out of quests to do, and I was just killing things to level up. Like, it was so, like, they really needed to scale the leveling back, and they just never did it. And I leveled up, but then they finally did it, like, and it was like way in the next patch. Like, you guys know how long they take to update stuff and everything. Oh, it's just you. I actually keep forgetting which account is. So I know your Fisher Bros is. I just forgot about this one. Thanks, man. Sick jacket. Thanks. Which one was it? Was it the? I don't. Unfortunately, I don't have Paramount anymore, so I can't watch the new ones anymore. They're doing like pretty much just doing specials these days, right? Yeah, I saw the ads for it, right? That weren't they like all holding the Prime energy drinks, but instead of Prime, it said Cred on it. I I was dying when I saw that. I was like, oh no, the Prime hydration drinks are gonna like double in price. Now they're gonna double in price, and they pretty much did. They pretty much did, like overnight. Yeah, like you go to and they're fully stocked too. Like everyone's buying them. They're at Walmart. It, yeah. So South Park does a special. It like it's suddenly like yeah. Everybody's starting to pay attention, I think, and realize who the smart people are, right? Oh man, imagine if Trey Parker and Matt Stone ran for president. Everybody would vote for them, but they'd never show up on the ballot. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, like that's the problem. The problem is the system, not the people. Yeah, look into delegates. Anybody that's voting in this next election and stuff like that, start looking into delegates and voting in local elections to affect that, because a lot of that has to do with the guy that you elect locally. Is he just gonna vote for Biden or Trump or you know, one of these people we really don't want. I don't think anybody wants them. I'm just being honest. I really don't. I really think everybody wants a better option at this point. I wish certain presidents could run again. But I understand there's a good reason for that. Yeah, you know, like, it's the sort of thing where you learn from it. I think certain ones would do better. You want one to be honest? Honest in what way? That's actually a pretty common thing that people say, but then I always wonder, like, what do they mean by that? Honest in what way? So, like, here's my thing. You have some presidents that are completely abhorrently, blatantly honest all the time. Very few, but some. And then you have a whole lot of people that just go out of their way to you know, like, try to make them look bad or say this or that anyway. You know? So, you went crud. Yeah, we were, but it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But I think that I think that people treated the office of the President of the United States with zero dignity and zero respect the past 8 years or so. Just people. And so that... You mean JFK? Like the actual president? Because, like, the Kennedys are still around. Like he was actually pretty young. Is there one running again? There usually is. I don't know. I can research him if you want. Give you my opinions. I don't know. Don't know. Didn't even know there was a new Kennedy running. Is it the same guy that always runs? What's his name? Robert, right? Robert F. Kennedy. I'll look into him. I don't really know much about him. I like, for the most part, I like the administration that we have currently. I actually do. I don't like the guy in charge. And the only reason I don't like that is because it's obvious that he can't do it at this point. And I really did think, I'm pretty sure he even said this, that he was only running for one term, just to essentially affect it. But now it's sort of like, oh yes, we're gonna run again. I don't agree with that. I think you should admit retirement and let... I mean, I don't see... Do you think enough people would vote for a woman president? 365? See, that's just it. I don't think enough people would. I hope they would. But Hillary was way overqualified. And people showed up just to not vote for her. My thing is, do you think people would actually vote for a woman president? because like I think that had a lot to do with people just discrediting Hillary. Most people made shit up about her and didn't know what they were saying. No, the whole server email thing. Oh, she committed treason. They're stupid. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. This is most people on that subject. I mean, most people don't realize that, like, see, that's the problem is, like, I grew up seeing presidents get accused of scandals and stuff all the time, and then, you know, it's the sort of thing where you just, like, you just wait and find out the details. You don't sit there and listen to everything the media jumps all over, because that's the point. So that's the point is, like, you just wait and you just go, all right, I'll just wait and see what happens, you know? It's like, you find out this and that and the other thing, it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, it's a little different than the media made it seem at first, and we all know they're very irresponsible with how they put things. So people just really, the problem is people, not being responsible with how they receive the information. You would vote for a woman? See, that's how I feel too. I feel exactly the same way. I feel like that should be the attitude. Now, I like her too, but she's not gonna run. I think the problem is, it's Kamala. So I just, for some reason, I don't know why people don't like her. And the funny thing is, I've actually asked people this, why they don't like Kamala. And they just make something up. Yeah, like they usually try to avoid the question. They'll make something up. I just don't like what she says. Wait a minute. Nobody that ever voted for Trump is allowed to use that excuse ever again with me. Anybody that ever voted for Donald fucking Trump does not ever get to use the excuse with me that they don't like what somebody says. You do not get that. You do not get that right. You voted for Donald Trump. The guy literally lies with everything he says. Then says he didn't say that. Then they play him the recording. And he goes, that's fake. Yeah. And he also just rambles incoherent nonsense half the time anyway. Now, we all know that the current guy does that too. So he like, it's more just his head is not screwed on straight anymore. He's too old. But in my opinion, Kamala should be fine. Why wouldn't anybody vote for Kamala if she ran again? And that's my concern, is she's now the vice president of the United States. Why not vote for her? Well, because she's going to support Biden, that's why. He was really smart by picking his strongest competitor as his vice president. That was really smart. I want whoever this is to obviously beat the other guy, but I also want to see who the other guy is first. I'm not convinced it's going to be Trump yet. You don't like Hillary? That's okay. You don't have to. There's plenty of other choices. She's just incredibly overqualified. She would do the job well. Do I think she might be a bit controlling with certain things? Yeah, and I think that's what everybody's concerned with. But I also think people don't know anything about her and just jump to conclusions too. I'm just being honest. Like, nobody actually looks at, like, the good stuff. Everybody, with her, for some reason, there's just so much hate. Everybody just digs up the bad things, and there really isn't much to find, but it really just boils down to that whole private server thing, which was okay, by the way. It was investigated. Yeah. So it just came down to that a lot of times. You probably watched some fake propaganda. Literally, that's most. Donald Trump and the Republicans, when she was so foolish to announce her presidency like all forever, they spent a decade essentially running against her. Yeah, because she kept running. She kept trying to run for president. So they were just always running against her. That's it. You know? She should have just waited until she knew she had the delegates to get on there. She's smart enough to have scoped that out. But it's almost like she thought she was going to gain good traction. It's like all Trump did was literally just make crap up. And then like half of the time you'd see one of those ridiculous ads too. It was always like the emails, and it would flash the emails on the screen. The private server. And it would flash the private server on the screen, like show a picture of her like looking all like, do you remember when she looked at something and she would like that? All right, she shouldn't have done that, but like if you actually look up what happened, she was there with, I guess, with Bill, right? And like it was like she was surprised with a camera. Like they suddenly just showed up with a camera and she had to react. So she didn't have time to look in the mirror to gauge a reaction, to do what normal politicians do. She literally just reacted. It was way over the top. She was just trying to be nice. If anything, that told me a lot about her. And people like just really like took that and like really mean about that. And so yeah, obviously like the one thing of her looking crazy where she's like, you know, or something like that. People, that's what they use. Who cares? And history repeats itself. I remember like nobody looks at tabloids anymore because everybody knows that's bull crap. So they disappeared. So now the tabloid people are just doing the memes and doing the fake news, and it's way worse than it ever was. Now, you know, before you could just look at the tabloid and it would be giant letters and it'd be like a politician and he'd be making some face and you'd be like, well, I know that's bullshit. So I'm not going to even bother looking at it or reading it because right there is a giant stupid face. Very obviously taken like when he's like sneezing or something, you know, something like that. Out of context. Yeah, it's all that. All of it. Like 80% of what you hear is completely out of context propaganda. That's what 80 to 90% of our media does. And so I just look stuff up myself and I read articles. And that, believe it or not, 365, that's actually why I watch the funny guys like Colbert and Jon Stewart and stuff like that. Because believe it or not, even though they use jokes, they use fact to make the joke. So I actually end up learning more about what happened because they just use fact. They start with the fact usually. And then people like actually think that those guys are the guys that like, oh, it's all fake news with them. It's all fake. It's actually just jokes with real facts. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you know, it's actually surprising what you can learn because then I'll be like, all right, that was obviously messed up. I'm going to look this up, what actually happened. And then you look it up and then you find out the truth is actually pretty damn funny. And then the joke gets funnier. That's why these guys are so funny and they're so good at this. Because the point is, truly, the big difference between the Republican and a Democrat, people don't want me to say this, and I didn't even mean to make this a political thing, but people think that people don't want to admit, is that Republicans want to believe anything. Democrats want to look things up and carefully use those things against you, against your candidate, and that's what you're supposed to do. And I'll be honest with you. I'm not claiming to be a Democrat or anything like that, or Republican or anything like that too. I've supported both at various times for various candidates, actually. But the point is, this is just what I've seen, where the Republican literally just goes, "Did you see that Biden blah 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 blah," or maybe we won't talk about Biden. We'll talk about Obama. Obama blah 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 blah, because I don't care for Biden much anymore either. And they'll be like this, blah blah blah, he did this. And then I'll be like, I watched that this morning, and that's not what happened. It was this. Like, he got out there, he did his speech. He didn't say no. He said about taking our guns away or something like that. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Okay. All right. You go ahead and keep voting for your autocracy sort of I want to run the entire world thing just because your guy peddles to your fears of being an American and wanting to have a gun. Okay. All right. All right. Go ahead. Keep doing that and not looking things up and just believing the media. This is the problem. Republican Americans are controlled by fear. Fox literally just gets on there every day and goes, "Well, did you hear blah blah blah," and it's really just a bunch of their opinions used off of the fact that there might have been some press conference, and so their opinion is that what Biden or Obama's doing is going to cause this. So they're going to start talking about what their opinion of what it's going to cause is. And then people just jump to conclusions and get fearful and go, "Oh, he's trying to take our guns, door to door. He's trying to door to door, door to door to door to door." And it's literally just that. So then a million people will go and make memes and fake news and all kinds of crap out of this shit. QAnon bullshit. And it's literally just bam, 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 wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Republican wins, Democrat wins, Republican wins, Democrat wins, Republican wins, Democrat wins. Literally every other election. Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican. You know why? You starting to see the pattern? Because people wise up and then they forget. Yeah, it's literally the fact that people think that you notice the day-to-day things a president does. Now, it's not the case. We are feeling the effects of Trump's presidency right now. Biden's presidency, you'll feel the effects of that in a couple of years. Right now is because of fucking Trump. The president can't do anything that affects the day-to-day. They really can't unless they declare a state of national emergency. That's pretty much it. So you don't... everyone's like, I did that. And like defacing gas stations. Trump, Obama, nor Biden have anything to do with your gas prices. Look things up once in a while. My dad always goes and buys a gun after taking your gun news stories. I never thought... Yeah. It's literally just fear. It's the same thing when the Republicans get on Fox and they go, "Oh, the gas prices are going to jump up to $8 to $9 maybe by this time next year because Biden blah 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 blah." And then you see the freaking idiots pumping gas into trash bags and stuff like that. Like, come on. Are we this stupid? This is why I say stupid, because people do need a little bit of humility. They need to call themselves out a little bit and realize they're not very smart when they're doing things like that. First of all, gas doesn't keep. Secondly, you can't put it in a fucking trash bag. Thirdly, if gas prices were going to go up by that much, you wouldn't want to fucking... No, the answer would be to switch to fucking electric, morons. God, just... Guys get what I'm saying. America, the rest of the world is starting to kind of realize this too, that Americans are essentially controlled by anxiety and fear. Stop doing this. Look things up. A dude on Fox and Friends is sitting there spewing a bunch of nonsense about how this time next year it's going to be this, this, and this, and this. Who gives a shit what the dude on Fox and Friends says? He's literally just saying that for views. It's the same thing Michael Does Life does when he's like sitting there and he's trying to have a good stream and nobody comes in. What does he do? What does he do? Even you can admit it. What does he do? He starts acting crazy. He starts looking at the ground. He starts kind of like being a fool, and more people come in. Because that's what gets the views. So if Fox and Friends sat there and delivered the very boring news exactly as it was every day, nobody would watch it. Absolutely nobody. So what do you think they do? Peddle on your fears. They flat out know everybody's afraid of the Biden administration. God, the world's going to end. Your gas prices are going to be astronomical. Oh my God. So we'll peddle on those fears to get ratings. They don't care how irresponsible they are. They don't care about those things. It is hard to realize that, but it's the truth. What can a president do right now? The president's the commander-in-chief. That's it. He commands the military. He makes executive decisions. He doesn't do anything. Congress makes decisions for right now. Hence why Congress can indict a president and stuff like that. Yeah. Congress is the day-to-day. That's why you vote, in effect, delegates, and you want to vote for those guys and affect who those guys, essentially the president who was on that ballot. Start paying attention to delegates and your local voting and stuff like that, because those people affect who's on the ballot. It doesn't matter if a whole crap load of people want Arnold Schwarzenegger or Keanu Reeves to run for president. Even if they want to run, it doesn't matter. It just matters who Congress puts on that ballot. There are these things called delegates. And our voting system is completely flawed and needs to be updated. Period. It was established when there weren't that many people here. And now there's a lot of people. And there's also a lot of ignorant people. We used to have an archaic system, where it was like smart guys in a room sort of thing. I don't necessarily want that. But I do think that the average person doesn't deserve the right to vote. I do think that right isn't everybody's to have. Because people have proven that they don't know things and that they'll storm the Capitol and rub fecal matter all over things and think that this is legal to do. like almost killing people while people did die. You know how weak we looked as a nation that day? Something needs to change. And it's our voting system. And not everybody should be allowed to vote. We should recognize this. We should recognize when we're not very smart and there's other better people for this. Most Americans weren't even aware of essentially what... it just goes to show when a guy who spent his whole life not being a politician, he was about broke, and he decides to run for president. Trump Tower's about to close. Essentially he's going bankrupt. He's trying to balloon his I mean, we can prove this now. He's trying to balloon his income to look good. So he runs for president to do it. It really says something when this guy that knows all this about business, he was even tweeting about how much he hated Obama and this and that to peddle that and all that stuff. It really says something when this guy, and then he runs for president, and then while running for president, he is still so ignorant that he didn't even know when Election Day was. That says something. A lot of you want to put stock in him, and you don't want me to call him an idiot and stuff like that. That's fine. Whatever. You can give him all the respect in the world that you want. But he literally ran for president to get rich. He didn't want to win. He didn't even know when Election Day was. He didn't plan on winning. He ran against Hillary, who he thought would win. Landslide. Pretty sad when huge amounts of America go out to literally vote against somebody just because they hate somebody else. That's what happened. That's pretty freaking sad. And a lot of that hate is literally from exactly what you were talking about. Propaganda. Nonsense. And I wasn't planning on getting political with this morning, but we're coming up on this pretty soon. People are thinking about this now. It's very. I mean, they're campaigning. It's starting, and people are thinking about it. I obviously we're even talking about Trump as a candidate at this point, I think, but I don't know that he's even going to be on the ballot in most states. We'll see. I know that's a propaganda thing that they're peddling too. I recognize this. This is a Democratic propaganda. But it's realize that with Democrats, a lot of times it comes from fact. With Republicans, the propaganda is really half the time made up, completely fabricated. With Democrats, a lot of times when you look it up, it's like might actually really. I mean, he's already been removed in a couple of states, but these are states that don't matter, so it doesn't. It's fine. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Now, he'll break some records with that. I think being one of the only presidents to actually be in an election and still be taken off several states. But I think there's going to be a very key state on there that he gets taken off, and it'll be everything. And it'll cause a huge uproar. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just have to see what happens. I don't know for sure. I just think it's going to happen. The Kennedy commercial was awesome during the Super Bowl. There was I feel like I didn't see that. There was a Kennedy commercial? See, I love the Michael Cera commercial. That I was laughing so hard. Like I know I said this several times on the channel, but there's not too much that makes me burst into laughter. The very second that ad came on, and I literally just saw Michael Cera holding moisturizer, and he goes, I'm Michael Cera. What did you say? I'm Michael Cera, and moisture is my passion, or something like that. And he's just turning. It burst out of me. I just like. It was so funny. You have that? It's a good moisturizer. I'll bet everybody has that now. Yeah, that was brilliant. That's how you do advertising. You spend $1 million on one celebrity. Just like everybody's, even before the Super Bowl, everybody knew about Apartments.com because of Jeff Goldblum. I was into all the companies trying to start new trends, like the Aria twist for it. Yeah. I don't mean to divide any audience by talking about politics, guys. I want you guys to rationalize that once in a while I may get into politics because I think it's really important for people to be informed and educated. Um, but realize I won't like. If you throw a wild conspiracy at me that I know is untrue, I might call you stupid. But like, you know, like, just don't like if you obviously look things up and you're coming from a place of, of you know what you're talking about, fine, you can debate. But like, if you don't look things up and you don't know what you're talking about, then I'm gonna call it as I see it. The poppy soda, isn't that spelled like poppy? Like hi poppy. You like Spanish? I think that's actually spelled like that. I don't know. Good luck. Yeah, I know. That's the sort of thing where like it will, you know, regardless of what you do. And that's actually that's what's a shame. I'm not sure, but they said my kids would be. Dude, all right, yeah. Well, I saw that commercial before the Super Bowl ad, but I couldn't believe they actually paid for one for the Super Bowl. I feel like it's not very good. I feel like that was literally just to boost sales, and it's just not a very good soda. I don't know, like, with soda, if it's good, people find out about it quick. I don't know. This is one of those things. Uh, I think with that soda, it's not marketed properly. So like, if you're selling something, yeah, I should go into advertising. If you're selling something, and you have a can like this, okay, consider who's drinking it. That's it. Do you have um a lot of and politics? Well, that is politics. That's what politics is. Yeah, like by definition, yeah, for sure. The politics that goes into essentially you know, people that would buy a drink, you know. You have to go. I'll be back. Okay, sounds good. But essentially, like, what I'm talking, like, yeah, I know this is getting a little long now. This is getting a little off topic. But when you're selling something, and you have like a can, essentially what you want to do is consider who's buying this can. You know, and and do they see the can? Or so, like, all right, we'll take We'll take Mountain Dew for example. That is a perfect example. Mountain Dew has a nice bright, colorful look to it. And the reason for that is because they know that the younger crowd likes the colors and stuff like that. And that's who's drinking it. And if you oversimplify it, they won't buy it. It has to look cool. Yeah, so Baja Blast has like a giant wave on it of like Baja Blast waving across the front of it. And that looks cool. And as they drink it, they're looking at the picture, thinking that in their head. This is the younger, that's the demographic. If you're selling a soda, or anything really, I shouldn't just say soda. This could be water. But if you're selling it to like a totally different demographic, let's say you want people in their 30s and 40s to buy this. Now it's flip it on its end. Just flip it on its end. 180. Essentially, a lot of times, you wanna simplify things. You want it to be easy to look at. It should have a nice, having a good, crisp, vivid color on your can can really, really be important. But if you want it to stand out, that's the key. So like let's say you're marketing this. Where are you selling this? Is it going to be in malls? Are people going to be drinking this out of vending machines? Are they going to be buying it? Maybe. But most of the time, they're going to be drinking it at home. Like they're going to get the 12-pack. They're going to be drinking a 24-pack. They're going to be drinking it at home. And, around other people. Hey, yellow. And, they're going to have people coming in. And, they're going to be drinking it too. And it's going to, essentially, what you want is to advertise the product then, because they're essentially seeing it at somebody else's house. So maybe they drink water, they drink something like a little bit more simple, just something else, and they're trying this for the first time. Nice bright color. I'm sorry, vivid color, not necessarily bright, but vivid color. This is perfect, where they have like this blue that really stands out. It's the sort of thing where they're going to notice it. It's very simple to look at, but, having the Pepsi-Cola all fancy, I might grab that now. It's very simple, easy to look at, but they got that Pepsi-Cola all fancy. I'm gonna try it. And it says real sugar. Very plainly easy for me to see. Yeah. Seriously. That's how it works. If I saw this can and it said real sugar in like really big letters, obnoxiously, like real, like some do real, like it'll be like real, and then like have like a cane of sugar. Like they try to be all graphic about it and weird and stupid. It's not the demographic for this. And so like just the simple design works. So if I saw that essentially next to a Coca-Cola can, depending on my age, yes, I will pick the can. But I can't, like, the younger crowd really, I was one of the only one, in my opinion, I was one of the only one when I was younger. A lot of people were drinking like clear drinks, like like Sprite, Mountain Dew, things like that. I see people older, like folks drinking Pepsi and cola and stuff like that, the darker sodas. So that's essentially why I'm doing that comparison. But you guys get the idea. As essentially, who's the demographic that you're appealing to? What cans will this show up next to? Will somebody throw a party and there'll be a bunch of cans in a if like let's say a work throws a party and they buy a bunch of cans and throw them in an ice bucket. Now you got Pepsi, you got Coke products, you got all kinds of stuff thrown in there. All different people from all over see this. They might not necessarily even know what Pepsi is. I doubt that, but they maybe they just ordered a Coke, or something like that, or vice versa, and they want to try. That's just it. Is what would they think about trying that product next to the other one based on the demographic? That's the difference. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about how Walmart has entire soda aisles from end to end where it's all right next to each other. And a lot of what you're selling is based on how the way the outside of that cube looks. Do you ever notice how Walmart will sell a crap load of soda just because they stacked a pyramid of it right in front of the door? It looks cool. Yeah. Suddenly you want that. You want to grab one from the pyramid. That's impulse. That's how advertising works. So anyway, we rambled. We rambled a bit here at the end. This is good. This is good. I'm really looking forward to Falconer. Warlock's cool. Warlock's cool. I'm really looking forward to Falconer. I'm not really sure about these factions. We're just gonna have to see. I have no idea. Obviously, this gives us a really decent breakdown to sort of kind of see essentially kind of what we're talking about.
Greetings, travelers. I'm Judd Kobler.
I was gonna watch this. Do you guys want to watch this? I feel like we covered most of it. Maybe I'll just watch this on my own. Oh, well, alright. Maybe that section would be good. Here, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm gonna link this for you. Yeah, I'm just gonna link it. 'Cause I gotta get going. I wasn't even planning on being on here an hour and a half. I just started rambling. 365 got me talking. Okay, so let's share this. Ugh. Too long. I gotta put it in the description. The link is too long to share. Jesus. I had to select all. God, that was a long link. I'm gonna put it in the description. That is a long link. And that is a developer video, I guess. What is this? Why? What is going on with this? What? Windows is such a piece of shit. Yeah, Windows 10 is such a piece of trash. I literally can't copy and paste things. Yeah, like this has been an issue ever since the update. Their operating system is such a fucking piece of trash that if I try to copy and paste something, it adds like a break halfway somewhere in between what I'm trying to paste. Like, what a fucking piece of garbage. Like, like your operating system's such a piece of shit. It physically can't copy and paste text anymore. Like, jeez. What a piece of trash. Okay. I got it now. There it is. Shared it a few times. All right, guys. Well, I shared it for you. Check it out. We're just talking about patch notes and everything. We're gonna play some last Epoch and grind away soon. But I have a lot of stuff to do today. I have so much to do. So I appreciate everybody being here. 365. Yellow showed up there at the end. So something else I wanted to draw your attention to that seems really weird. I know that like we've been talking about all this stuff with YouTube lately, but I gotta be honest, YouTube servers really aren't very good. And a huge proof to that fact is literally just the simple fact that numbers are so inaccurate. It's not even funny. So earlier today, when I was looking at my YouTube channel, I was on the home tab, and the views for my one video were completely different than when I went to the live tab. So why the hell would the views look different just from me going from the home tab to the live tab? Why would that be the case? Stop running fucking scripts in here. Stop it. If you don't stop running fucking scripts right now, I'm gonna pull up the goddamn console right on the fucking stream and show everybody the scripts that you're running. If you don't fucking stop it right now, I'm gonna pull up the console for the fucking browser and I'm gonna track it right in front of everyone. Stop fucking doing it. Stop. Fucking douchebag. Sitting here every fucking day. Running scripts. Making Nightbot to intentionally send messages. Literally just running scripts to do that. Where the fuck is my fucking support? There's supposed to literally be a fucking support person in here. Is it you? Are you doing it? Is it my support person? Literally from YouTube? Doing this with their dev tools? Are you doing this right now? Is this you? Is this you? Go ahead, tell me. Come in chat right now and tell me if you've been doing this. Because I got news for you. If I find out that you have been the one doing this the whole time I've been trying to run my channel, running scripts to cause problems, to harass me, just because you do not like my content, you have a serious problem on your hands, dude. Because there's supposed to be an active support person in here every second of every day, making sure the scripts that run in this browser are correct to the fucking T. So why the fuck, every goddamn stream I have, somebody's in here conveniently running scripts? Why is that? Because it's you? Yeah, get me a new fucking support person right now and fire that fucking asshole. He's doing nothing. Every fucking day. Every day.